That's interesting. So we're switching things around a bit.
Yeah, it does look like that. I don't feel too bad about the Lifestealer coming out here for TNC. Again, they have a natural vehicle in that Earth Spirit. We've seen this combination to great effect. Just so much you can do with that, spectacular initiation fever from the Earth Spirit, and the damage follow-up from the Lifestealer is phenomenal. I don't know, after the last game, I'm just kind of worried if the lane goes bad. Lifestealer does tend to have a very hard time bouncing back, and this time around, Fnatic does seem to have ways of really controlling that Lifestealer. Just, that Nature's Prophet with the root, the Nyx Assassin sneaking up from behind and just chain stunning him. It could be rough for TNC. We'll see just how well they can buy space for this Lifestealer. I do like Fnatic picking up that PA. I always love that PA. Granted, she has gotten a bit nerfed in the past few patches. She was a bit ridiculous before. But I feel like it's still a good hero. It's always fun to watch. It's like watching a slot machine, Mike, and, except instead of winning money, you just see blood, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that, John. A very dark way of putting it, but thank you for that. The PA, though, I agree with you, is a very nice pick from Fnatic. Direct counter to the Lifestealer, of course. Not only in that evasion, but just the fact that the right click does very well against the Lifestealer. TNC, they haven't got much time left at all, so they've got to make quick picks now. They will go for the Tidehunter, so some very nice team fight, and I've got to say, a lot of Disable and Lockdown coming out from TNC. I suppose that's one way to deal with the Phantom Assassin, and the Pangolier for that matter. You can't really, if you need to lock him down long enough to kill him off, I mean, you've got 3 stuns already sitting there waiting to go from the side of TNC. So I don't mind this whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong draft coming out from TNC. Again, Tidehunter is a pretty good vehicle for the Lifestealer as well. A very tanky hero. Even a PA finds it a bit annoying trying to burst down the Tidehunter. And especially with a rework to Tidehunter's Anchor Smash. PA can cop a lot of damage if she jumps into that hero, so it's something to watch out for if you're Fnatic. I do like this pick from TNC, and it does make their draft a bit more dynamic. You can do so much with this. You can have the Tidehunter take the front lines. You can have the Earth Spirit initiate for you. You have the amazing potential of all the swaps that the Vengeful Spirit has. So it is looking pretty strong for TNC. At the same time, Fnatic's draft has shaped up quite nicely compared to Game 1 as well. They have solid supports in the Nyx Assassin, Nature's Prophet, if they so choose to run those supports. Great burst potential from that PA and good scalability. The Pangolier, of course, never really tapering off too hard. Great amount of control and damage in team fights. So I am really interested to see what they close out their drafts with. I mean, Fnatic does have some flexibility. We have seen that Pangolier mid. We have seen it off for Ice. We have seen the PA mid a lot. We've seen it in safe lane. So there is flexibility here for Fnatic as to where they toss these heroes to.
TNC now. About 18 seconds total with the reserve time to go for this final pickup. Does appear they do need someone in that position 2 role for the mid. See what they do plan to give Armel this time around. Oh, it is the Viper. I was wondering when this creature was going to come out. Finally does. That break going to be very useful up against that PA as well, John. This is going to be a fantastic pick from TNC. Obviously in the mid lane as well, it's very hard to contest the Viper.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard lane no matter what, and that's just the tendency of, that's just the nature of Viper, right? He's a lane dominating hero in the early game. His scalability is questionable, but he's super strong in the first, I want to say, 20 to 30 minutes, just naturally dominant, especially in the laning phase. Very hard to contest, although you can throw your supports at him and he will eventually fall. But on a 1v1 in terms of that farm and harass pumping out, very hard to really match up against that Viper. Fnatic does pick up the Doom, so it does look like we will have that safely in PA, and Abed is back in mid with that Pangolier.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I like the Doom pickup, personally, John, but overall, I don't know. Like, do you think that's the right decision? I really did think Ice would take it for him, and they'd give something else up against the Viper. Not that I'm saying that Abed's Pango is going to be bad up against that Viper, but if we have a similar sort of game as last one, I don't know. It could just all fall apart.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. I did expect the Pangolier to go down off lane and expect something else mid. Pangolier is not going to have the best time against Viper. It's one of those... I feel like it's going to be like the last game where you saw the puck just kind of take over at some point. The Viper does kind of do the same thing, and it's going to be quite easy to punish a melee hero like Pangolier. I don't see any kill potential coming out from the Viper unless the sports really spend a lot of time ganking up Abed, but at the same time, even without the supports, I think Armel should take over that mid lane quite nicely. I do like the Doom coming out. It should give Gabby a bit of a hard time, especially the Harass coming out, and the sustain that Ice can have with his hero. He's just not going to be forced out of the lane at all unless TNC really commits all your supports to that cause. Whereas I feel like, TNC does have better things to do with their supports than just shutting down Doom. So I do like that last pick coming out from Fnatic. I still feel like TNC's draft is a bit stronger. The team fight is much more impressive. The lanes come out a bit stronger in my opinion, especially with that Viper down mid. And Cuckoo on that offlane Tide should be able to get what he wants from that lane as well. So I just feel like TNC's is much more straightforward to pull off. Whereas Fnatic does require some finesse, and it requires a bit more from them. It requires a bit more farm. You want your PA to get some good farm at the start. MP definitely not wanting a repeat of that last game. Has to have a decent enough start. And you also kind of want Abed to have a good start as well, because he was playing a bit behind in the last game, and that did cause him to be less than, not too active going into that mid game, where I feel like Pangolier is a hero that wants to come online fast and wants to set up these fights for the team. If you're kind of slow down at the start, it really throws your timing off. So I feel like you do have two heroes that want to come online a fair bit fast, and in TNC side, all these heroes just need EXP. Now, no real item timings to think about, except maybe Gabby's Lifestealer, which we've seen, because the Lifestealer playing from behind also can't flash farm, but otherwise the Tide doesn't require too much. The Viper definitely doesn't require too much. So I do feel like, in that sense, TNC's is much easier to pull off.
A few nice little tips coming out. Of course, these teams play with each other quite a lot in scrims and things like that, so they are very friendly with each other, as all teams should be, I feel. Looks like there will be no contention over bounty runes. Both sides just going to grab two very safely. Though, interestingly enough, they are going to put MP up at that top lane for the moment. Probably wanting to avoid that Tidehunter lane, although TNC are aware of this and have already sent the Tide up towards that top lane. Cuckoo actually going to block the mid lane for the moment. But he should eventually make his way up top. Looks like AU will be down bot. We'll have Gabby there as well on that Lifestealer. They'll be placed up against Ice for the moment. And I suppose both carries aren't really going to get what they want in terms of lanes. But at the very least, it makes it kind of fair. Makes it interesting.
Definitely so. I feel like TNC does actually want Gabby to face off against Doom. I think because, the Doom's going to get something anyway, you might as well have your Tidehunter face off against PA, kind of try to slow that farm down, and I think that is definitely the right move here.
Radiant's Courier going down. I'm not sure where that happened, but did you happen to spot where the Courier was? In fact, hold on to that for just a moment, John. Top lane, a bit of action going on. Tim's getting started on jabs and MP, trying to punish Cuckoo. Doing a solid job of it as well. Meanwhile, bot lane, AU actually copying a lot of harassment from DJ on that Nyx Assassin. But did you happen to see where the Courier died?
No. I couldn't quite tell you, but that's a very early kill. I don't believe anyone was camping down mid, so I'm really not too sure as to how that one died, but that's a nice early pickup going the way of TNC. And that just kind of hurts Abed's mid again, because he's not going to be able to sustain too long against the Viper, and, well, he's going to have to expend a lot of regen. He's not going to have the option to ferry himself some more for about a minute, so it's going to hurt that early laning phase just a bit.
Tim's going to fall quite low. MP trying to get that first blood, though. They are trying to do that on jabs as well. Dagger will fly out. Tim's falling low. They will manage to get the support out for the side of Fnatic, and it looks like Tim's will be the first blood. MP getting himself a very nice start on that PA. And now the Dire Courier dies, although this time Jabs manages the TP up at the top lane and does snipe it out.
Yeah, looks like just really a lot more activity on that Curry this time around. This time, our Mel will suffer just a bit. I don't think it's as painful for him as it was for Abed. He is copying a fair bit of harass from Abed though, but he should still be able to take control of this lane, at the very least find the last hits he wants, even without that courier, and I don't think he's going to be under too much pressure. I think that actually hurts the side lanes a bit more in this case. Kuku would want some more regen, possibly some more regen for Gabby as well, so that is going to be slowed down a bit, and that could cost these side lanes a fair bit here, Mike.
DJ actually a very nice double impale coming out. Well, Gabby trying to dish out some harassment towards Ice Ice Ice. A lot of heroes across the map falling quite low. Nobody really being the second death of the game quite yet. You see, it looks like they've rotated on the side of TNC now. They're going to try and run a bit of a tri-lane down bot. Gabby having an okay time, but perhaps Ice 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 getting a bit too much out of this lane. So Tims and EU join in. This will mean that they just leave Kuku there up at the top lane to deal with MP himself. Of course, MP will have Jabs there for the moment. But I suppose with the Anchor Smash at level 2, he'll probably be okay. Probably just wants that level 1 Kraken Shell, although they are going to make a bit of a jump. They don't follow up on the Stifling Dagger. On bot lane, Ice 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 will cop a stun. Now the Boulder Smash as well. They're really slowing him down here, and the roll in was onto DJ. Ice 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 so low, but not low enough to die. He will manage to walk away, and John, that was really thanks to DJ, who blocked the roll in from that Earth Spirit.
Yeah, that's a really good move from DJ, blocking that roll. If Ice 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 was hit, that would have been enough time to get those last few right clicks in, so Ice 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 does live to be annoying for another day. And that does cost TNC quite a fair bit. They did really try to put as much pressure as possible on the Doom. I don't think they're really going to slow down the farm coming on that Doom. It's really to be expected just with the way Devour works. It's not the easiest guy to shut down.
Yeah, not only that, but he doesn't have to return back to the base after you go for those kind of kill attempts. He pretty much can just use that passive regen from the Devour. Just play safe and survive. Though DJ again saving Ice 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 with a double impale coming out. They're going to try and go into DJ instead, but now Ice 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 blocking the bodies of TNC. And well, DJ and Ice Ice Ice, they're playing like a real team right now down at the bot lane. And TNC's tri lane has been rather ineffective so far.
Yeah, you're really committing hard to try to find these kills and try to apply the pressure, but all they end up doing is really wasting their own resources. They've run out of regen in sports now. They've cost Gabby a few last hits, but he's not struggling too much in this lane anyway. But it's still a bit costly here. I think the main issue is that these supports probably don't have regen to really sustain the lane more. So after their next rotation, they're probably going to have to use a courier or go back home and get themselves some resupply. A couple of clarities maybe, just to keep that pressure going.
They managed to get themselves 3 bounty runes as well on the side of Fnatic, so found themselves a 2k net worth lead already, 5.5 minutes in. Bit of a smoke rotation coming in, up to that top lane. Yims, can they be there with AU? Looks like it was just a bit of a warding mission, although they are going to run into Jabs, and this should be a rather easy kill to get. 3 heroes around Jabs right now. He's going to go for the TP play. It won't work out quite, although really, will he be able to get out of here? Yes, he does.
Come on. Oh man, that is just really painful to watch. Just, I think they might have jumped the gun a bit early. AU was not in position to go for that stun.
Now they're going to go into MP though. That's a much more important target. They roll in as well. MP, he's stuck around, but he can just blink strike out because Jabs is still there.
Yeah, and again, just so many resources from TNC being invested on these rotations. The supports aren't quite finding enough. The side lanes, you know, they're not being lost massively, but I feel like with your supports walking around like this, they are definitely losing out in EXP. They're not applying too much lane pressure as well. Every time they fail these rotations, they just go somewhere else, and they don't quite help out their core. They're really just not trading blows or just applying harass.
Yims gonna go onto MP again, but missed the roll. Didn't really set up with that magic missile either, and Well, Tim's just going to let it go. We'll return back to that bot lane to try and help out his carry. Gabby not having too bad of a time. Getting some decent farm, though MP is certainly taking over in terms of farm. Currently 700 gold ahead of Gabby, and is at the top of the net worth board. But in terms of shutting down this this PA, it's doesn't look great for TNC in that case. Like, he's going to be able to find farm a lot quicker than last game.
Definitely so. He's pretty confident now as well. Has that Battle Fury queued up, and as long as this lane goes as it is, he's probably going to hit a good timing that. So he has his face boots up, going to work onto that Battle Fury, and once that's up, his farm will accelerate like wild.
Now they think about going on to Cuckoo, but that is a tanky Tidehunter. Though they do have help coming in from Arbet from the sidelines, and Cuckoo going to try and juke it out a bit. He does not have level 6 yet. AU going to try and help as well, though he's going to be careful not to give him another kill. Cuckoo's still tanking with that Anchor Smash and Crack and Chill, but it won't be enough. Arbed with the Swashbuckle will get the job done. And we'll actually run to AU now as well, but definitely got what he came for anyway.
Yeah, they've really applied so much pressure onto this Tidehunter. It's not usual that you see a Tidehunter kind of lose out in this lane, but you know, we're watching Cuckoo just kind of struggle here. Just, you know, his supports aren't quite applying as much pressure as you'd expect, and Fnatic now is starting to apply the pressure on this top lane. So he's stuck at level 5, halfway to 6, but without that Ravage, he can't really contribute too much in these big engagements, and I don't think he's quite set up to do that anyway.
Cuckoo again, gonna get jumped by the side of Fnatic, and he's got no help. He does not have level 6. That just means a dead Tidehunter for Cuckoo. 2 quick successive deaths on that Tidehunter as well is not going to be great news for the side of TNC. We did see before as well, TNC were trying to do the same thing against Ice, though he had a very quick TP out and did manage to survive even though they rotated the Viper over. Fnatic really finding everything right now, and TNC finding absolutely nothing. Be able to claim that top tier 1 tower fairly easily. It's going to begin to get slightly concerning. So Armel, mid lane, will find DJ. This could be the first kill for TNC, though there's a Spike Carapace. DJ, again, another double impale. But he will tick down to the poison. Nice little pickup from them, and looks like Armel will just take over the mid lane once again.
Yeah, that is, you know, it's been a while since TNC actually put out any aggression that has succeeded. This is the first kill of their in the game for them, right around the 10-minute mark. So it has been a slow game for TNC. They have tried to be aggressive, but it really hasn't paid off. They do manage to get 1 kill. That is unfortunately just on a support, and they can't really transition to a tower push. I think that's the one weakness of TNC's lineup. They can't really push too well.
Gabby getting doomed up, and DJ, a very nice rotation. He gives up his life. Ice, even dropping an item in front of him. Gabby just standing still, not doing anything about it. Of course, DJ getting a nice early level 6 on that Nyx Assassin as well, so he can start making these rotations with that Vendetta. It's going to make it that much harder for TNC now to feel safe across this map.
Yeah, and again, that's one of the strengths of the Nyx Assassin. As long as you give him space to get the EXP he needs, he's going to be wreaking a lot of havoc on the map.
Gabby gonna return back into the lane, but there's 3 heroes there. He will go for the infest on the siege creep. I suppose that does save a bit of damage off that tier 1 tower. Get back to farming. Looks like Gabby does plan to go for the Midas build as well onto the Lifestealer, but I don't know, we saw how that panned out last time, and it's very reminiscent of what Fnatic's doing right now to TNC. So we'll see how much that pays off for the Lifestealer, but I don't know, like, you look at MP right now, getting ever so close to that full Battle Fury, and his farm is really going to start to escalate once that happens.
Definitely so, and again, Gabby, you know, his timing isn't going to be amazing here. The Midas probably still better than MP's in the last game, and in fact, I feel like he is doing a bit of a better job than MP was in the last game. But the timing still feels a bit too slow. We've seen faster timings from Lifestealers, and I think you really want it to be fast. It's a hero that wants to come online early. or at the very least, if you're working towards that Radiance, you want it fast, because you don't need that long.
They're going to try and ice ice now. The Rod of Atos coming out from Armel, and that is a very important kill for TNC. Though they do have Arbit chasing Tims now with that Rolling Thunder. Should be an easy kill for him, and he will find it. There was some more rotations coming, although it looks like TNC want to try and punish Arbit for that play. Didn't quite find him. They'll have to let him go now. Jabs is there to help out just in case. Still, at the very least, ice finally going down.
Yeah, they've spent a lot of time trying to kill that guy. He does manage to finally fall, and that is a nice little boon for Gabby. Still, you know, a lot of work still left to be done for TNC. Again, they still haven't taken any outer tower, and that is down to their lineup not pushing quite well. Gabby is still fairly behind, and you know, he's not quite tanky. Just a few clicks of harass.
Armel gets the Doom plays. There are rotations. Cuckoo's coming in. He does have Ravage, but he doesn't have the mana. He'll have to use that wand if he wants to commit the Ravage, and he looks like he won't for the moment. Soaring also available, though. Now ice. There's the Ravage. Does connect onto 3 heroes. It was quite a nice one. They really want ice on that Doom, but he's just outrunning them right now. Those Devours keeping him alive, and now Arbit, a very nice swashbuckle. They'll finally get the Doom. Can they find more? Armel, he'll get started on the Nature's Prophet, who's TPing away, and looks like he will not make it. He'll die in the fountain. Meanwhile, Cuckoo, a nice swap from AU, though Cuckoo did not run back. He will pay for it with his life. MP looking to clean up. They'll find one. Armel's pretty much the last man standing. In fact, no, hold on a minute. Here comes Tims with Gabby. They'll clean up MP now, and the only man left from Fnatic is DJ, who's trying to outrun them, though. Can he actually get the TP? How did Tim stun himself?
I believe that was Spike characters, but I'm not sure how.
But he didn't roll into him, though.
Maybe it was Urn?
Maybe yes,
an Urn charge on?
Could have been the Urn, yes.
Could have been. That was rather unfortunate. The pings were coming out from TNC afterwards. Slightly confused. Unfortunate, but probably one of the cleanest fights from TNC. What looked to have been a very bad engagement just ended up being great counter initiation coming out from TNC. Nice Ravage coming out from Ice, just setting up the initial kills for them, and really just, you know, great coordination coming out from TNC there. That's definitely what we need to see more from these guys, and definitely how their lineup needs to play. They do have to kind of pace themselves with that Ravage cooldown, though.
DJ currently stalking Gabby. Gabby finally getting his Midas. Will use it. At the very least, it won't be just left if he does die. And he's actually just going to outrun DJ. Meanwhile, bot lane, they are going to go again onto Ice, who is caught out. No TP rotations to help out, and Armel will claim a Mega now. They almost lose AU in that process, but it would have been well worth it, even if he had died. That'll guarantee those 2 bounty runes, although no. Jabs, he's going to try and find a kill, though no. AU gets a stun off, does not pick up the bounty. Somebody go grab it. They're playing around with it for the moment, just having a dance. And now, will they punish Jabs? It looks like they will, Tims. No stun available. Rod of Atos will come out from Armel to cancel the TP, and it looks like they will find Jabs in the end. But I think Jabs is still happy with the fact that he got that bounty.
Definitely so. Again, that bounty does give you a bit more towards the team.
Armel. Well, that's the first kill of the game onto Armel, and they really did not hesitate whatsoever. They threw everything at him. Does die very, very quickly, and a very important pickup for Fnatic.
Yeah, you do have to be aware, like when you're trying to push these towers out, that there is a Nyx. It's very easy for the Nyx to just sneak up on you.
Well, Cuckoo as well now getting caught out. Won't throw out the Ravage. He will just have to die, but keeping him under control with that Rolling Thunder. And Fnatic extend their lead to 4k net worth their way. And it's funny, right? Because TNC, they had that one great team fight, and suddenly they start getting picked off again.
Yeah, you do have to watch out for that. I feel like they need more ward coverage. They don't really have too many sentries down right now.
Armel going to TP onto the shrine. We'll find DJ. Vendetta not available quite yet, and they'll roll in, try to stop him. He's got 5 seconds, but he will go down to Tims. Things are getting very heated in this game.
Yeah, just a lot of back and forth pickoffs. I do want to talk about the map coverage. Again, Fnatic has some wonderful deep wards right now that allows them to do these rotations and kind of secure their side of the bot radiant jungle. TNC not so much. I feel like they definitely need to step up their sentries.
Bot lane, Ice going down. You catch him out again. Is that the third time he's died? No, fourth time he's died this game, but he's had 3 very quick deaths in succession. TNC, they've really been focusing on making sure this man can't farm. Luckily for the side of Fnatic, however, MP is farming relatively well. Top of the net worth board and has the Battle Fury up now. We'll be going straight into that BKB and, well, that's an unlucky TP. Everyone was waiting for it and Tims does end up going down. A nice play. Arbit will pick up that kill for Fnatic.
Yeah, again, just a bit of back and forth here, finding these relatively easy pickoffs, I have to say, for both teams, and kind of punishing the other side for it.
Oh, but Gabby's a very big pickoff if they can get it, and they are surrounding him. DJ, oh, the impel, the rage timing from Gabby. That was some super quick reactions from the Lifestealer. Does save him and wastes a lot of time from the side of Fnatic.
Yeah, I think Gabby's definitely playing a bit more safe. Like, he's definitely just watching himself and checking for changes. The moment that Impale came out and the Invis broke, just tap that Rage, because it's happened so many times before that. He's very conscious about it now.
Armel doesn't have a rage ability, however. He will get swapped out. AU trying to save him, but DJ, the double impale. Here comes Tims to try and help the cause. Arbet still chasing, doing a lot of damage. That 2 may take him out, but AU once again swaps him out. Can they save him? No, they cannot. Armel will finally go down. Now they go into Ice. They will be able to find Tims on that Earth Spirit. Ice so tanky on that Doom, though they continue to focus and no Ravage either being thrown out by Cuckoo. They just hold on to it and try to get everyone out of there. Losing 2 heroes on the side of TNC, Fnatic will also claim another top tier 2 tower for themselves, and that net worth lead just going to keep going up. They don't get the tier 2, but they may find Cuckoo first, if they do wish.
Doesn't look like they're going to force the issue, and yeah, again, a pretty wonky team fight for TNC, but that's a very clean engagement from Fnatic. Just focusing on the right targets. Dooming up that Viper is pretty much key here. I don't think you get too much from dooming the Lifestealer at this point. It's the Viper that really you have to watch out for. Armel has been pumping out so much damage by just rooting people in place and whacking onto them that he is pretty much the biggest threat from TNC right now. So just getting that control onto Armel will turn those team fights for you. And again, I'm pretty shocked with TNC's ward coverage right now, really. It's not that great. In fact, I'd say it's pretty darn bad. Not too many sentries as well to watch. There was mixed assassin rotations, although it has built up a fair bit now. Quite a bit more since that last fight, but during that last fight, it felt like they definitely lacked vision. It definitely has felt like they've been lacking vision for the past, I don't know, 10 minutes. Just kind of underwhelming to see that coming out from a team like TNC.
Certainly has been costly. Speaking of costly, Gabby about to go pick up a Radiance for himself. Just needs a bit more gold. Go for the Ancients for that, and that will help the cause for him just a bit. Especially in terms of just farming up. Speed up the process. Of course, we did see the Doom Ice. Does manage to get a Blink Dagger for himself, so you have that nice initiation with that Doom ability. Wherever he really wants to go for, but I imagine it probably will either be Armel or Gabby that he goes for. Though I also kind of wouldn't blame him for just going for AU, honestly. Because that man, he could really get some clutch swaps off during these team fights.
Yeah,
looking for smoke. Maybe a smoke on smoke, although TNC. See if they do throw one out. Nice scan from Fnatic, and who have they gone on? They found Cuckoo, so there'll be no Ravage in this team fight. They'll get started on Ice, but the Impale again, and now Arbed, he can keep them stunned up. Tims just trying to get out of their form at the moment. Cuckoo does end up going down. Meanwhile, they found Tims as well. Here comes Gabby, he's going to try and man fight. He'll get Ice. MP though, with the BKB, feeling very safe. Not so much anymore. They've got the Rod of Atos, they found Arbed. They're going to try and burst him down as soon as possible. The DJ again with the double Impale. He'll let Arbed get out of there, although no, he won't. Armel's poison will tick him down. MP managed to survive throughout all that. it was a 2 for 3 for the side of Fnatic, and there was one buyback coming out from Armel, so Fnatic do end up coming out on top in the end.
Yeah, a nice little win for Fnatic there. Pretty good counter engagement from TNC. Rather unfortunate that, you know, Cuckoo didn't manage to get that Ravage off. He was doomed up. That was the blink reveal from Ice Ice Ice. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull that off as smoothly as he did this time around. I feel like TNC should definitely be ready for it the second time around, and that could cause a few issues for that initiation. Again, just, you know, a lot of TNC's team fight does rely on that Ravage. They do have to play around that, and when you take it out, it's just very hard for TNC to get the control they want on a wide area. They really rely on that Ravage. For the most part, I mean, Venge has great control, it's just the target. The Earth Spirit Swell only has a single target stun. Great AoE slow, but nothing to really hold people down, so when you take Cuckoo out like that, team fight just kind of goes your way.
We'll turn this tide to our advantage.
Looks like TNC gonna try and take their first attempt at that tier 1 mid tower. Has still been standing. DJ, there's no sentries on the floor to really scout him out in that Vendetta either. He may be able to get a very nice initiation for his team if they so wish. But it looks like they are going to allow the tier 1 to go down for free. Immediately TNC will try and back off. DJ looking for Gabby. He won't be there in time. So TNC do essentially just steal that tower from under the noses of Fnatic.
Yeah, I'm surprised TNC again isn't being punished for going for these pushes without sentry wards. Just, you know, stepping out there in the open, not really respecting the work that DJ's done on this Nyx. It's rather surprising to me that, you know, in a forward push, you just don't drop those sentries.
Well, Fnatic, they will go for the Roshan play, and they are taking it at a relatively good speed. TNC, nowhere near it right now. They're going to start making their way there slowly, and Cuckoo can't really afford to be the first one, because if he dies right now, it looks like he will as well. Cuckoo's got to throw out that Ravage ASAP, though he can't do it quite yet. Arbed holding him in place, though AU saves the day for the moment, but MP chasing, they will take him out. Now the Doom's out onto Gabby as well. Armel trying to burst down MP. He can't find him quite yet, though a lot of damage ticking MP down with the Magnetize as well. And again, AU swapping him back into the team fight, though MP, he will finally drop. Now Jabs, he'll be the target. Looks like he is gone as well, and Gabby will find himself a double. John, I will tell you what, AU saved TNC so hard right there.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you in that. That swap, securing that kill on MP, that's definitely what TNC needed, and they've, you know, that led to them taking this Roche and potentially taking, you know, a few more towers, maybe up top, or finding a kill on Ice Ice Ice.
They're going to find Ice 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 again, and well, nice stun from him, but it isn't going to help the cause. At the very least, he does get the Devourer off in time. Bit of efficiency from Ice Ice Ice. Suddenly TNC really dragging the net worth advantage back almost their way. It's down to 4k now the way of Fnatic. This is that point where you got to start getting worried if you're on the side of the Radiant, because TNC is starting to build a lot of momentum this game. They are going to move their way down to that tier 2 mid tower, and you can't forget the Ravage is still available. Doom will not be available for another 60 seconds. They are going to try and trade that bot tier 2, and it looks like it will eventually get taken out by the creeps. So a trade for a trade, nothing too bad there for either side. But again, you can really feel the fact that Fnatic does not want to engage right now.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they do want at least that Doom up and running before they force a fight out, and has about half a minute left before it's up, so can't really force the issue until that's up.
They found Armel though. Guardian Greaves will be there. He's trying to survive as long as he can, but he's got no help coming in. Armel finding himself in a bit of a sticky situation. Again, we go back to that warding that you were talking about, and I mean, around this area of the map right here, down that bottom east area, there's really no vision whatsoever for the side of TNC, so fortunately Armel, running on his side of the river, had no clue they were coming.
Yeah, just a lot of blind spots for TNC throughout this game. It has been causing issues for them. They have been you know, finding kills nonetheless and taking these initiations quite fine nonetheless, but you'd figure if they had proper vision, this, you know, they wouldn't have such a hard time going around a map like this. Again, probably just change in priorities. We do have 6 entry wards and Tims now, though, so that's a vast improvement from a while ago.
Well, I mean, I imagine that Fnatic is making it rather difficult. Don't get us wrong. You know, it's Fnatic. It's not like they're not de-warding, doing a good job of it as well. Of course, we do see the Nature's Prophet pushing in that bot lane a lot, just TPing in, using those treants, and being very frustrating because he's always forcing TNC to back off and defend that high ground. As it stands, it looks like TNC just want to get back to farming. You look at Gabby, he's got that full assault cuirass up now and going for the MKB next to be able to deal with that PA. Does have the Aegis still as well. Whereas you look at MP, got some decent items of his own. He just picked up a Desolator and he will be going straight into that Abyssal Blade next. Especially handy up against Gabby on that Lifestealer. Ice, his farm slowed down quite a lot throughout this game, but it looks like he has managed to pick up a BKB. It's just coming out on the courier now, so going to be much harder to shut down this man before he can throw out the Doom onto Cuckoo.
Yeah, they're going to have to really find a way to play around that. Maybe isolate Ice beforehand first, or somehow instantaneously stun him. They don't quite have a Hex on the side of TNC, so nothing instantaneous coming out in terms of stuns for them so far. Might be an issue here with that BKB.
A nice smoke from TNC, but Fnatic, are they aware of this? Tims does get shown. DJ goes for an Impale, doesn't quite get anything out of that. And it looks like the side of Fnatic just trying to back off for now. Though they do catch out DJ, and now they make the chase onto Jabs as well. Both the supports wouldn't be too bad of a little win for TNC. They will find at least one, and Jabs does manage to get the TP off in time. Tims could not hold him down long enough. They will at the very least feel a bit safer knowing that that Nyx Assassin won't be on the field.
Certainly does open up the map just a fair bit. You know, not having that threat of the Vendetta for half a minute means you can pretty much farm free for half a minute, at the very least get some D-wards going. So they do clear out that jungle area on the bottom side, and that does open up the farming capability for them just a bit more.
They have tried to apply a bit of pressure down at that bot T2 tower, but no creep wave available for TNC there. They're just making their way down. Aegis will end up expiring on Gabby as well. So not really being able to use that quite as efficiently as they would have liked while all that was happening. I did see a Basher coming up. Fnatic has picked one up, and I believe that will be on Arbed, the Pangolier. And it is.
Yeah, so that's going to be a bit more annoying to deal with. Abed can just basically, you know, stun lock people if he so chooses. At the very least, get a lucky bash and keep him in place. I think it's going to be a bit scarier if and when MP does get enough farm to have that as well. Definitely going to be a bit of an issue having that long-range luck stun from the Stifling Dagger.
Oh, Gabby, he gets doomed up. He got the rage before that, but he's still being chased down, and now they're going to find another. Nice swap from AU. Armel trying to survive. He won't be able to, though. A 1.2k crit, and Gabby's in big trouble as well. He goes down. Now, Ravage hits on absolutely everybody from Cuckoo. The buyback's coming out as well. They're going to try and chase Arbin. In fact, no. They'll go for Ice, and Jabs. Jabs falling very low and will go down. Now they find Ice as well. But what a Ravage coming out from Cuckoo. He hit every single person on the map jump.
Yeah, that was absolutely perfect coming out from Cuckoo. Just positioning himself absolutely perfectly there. You know, just... You rarely see those kinds of perfect Ravages, and that was the best one we've seen so far in this game. Really bought that teamfight back for TNC, just turning it around. They knew after that Doom was gone, they'd have a huge opening, and they take advantage of that now, managing to get that high ground push for themselves going.
See Arbed trying to force the side of TNC back. TNC not going to stop the push. They'll keep going. DJ jumping in. The Rod of Atos will come out. Nice bashes from Arbed, and they're going to start the team fight straight onto AU. They want to burst him down, and they do get away with it. MP, he really wants more, and Arbed just holding them in place for him. They're just sitting ducks right now for the PA. MP, he will find a double. Tim's looks like he will barely manage to get out in time, but a very nice defense from Fnatic. On the brighter side for TNC, however, they do force out quite a few buybacks.
Yeah, certainly so. And they managed to take out that tier 3 at the very least, so that does open up the shrines, if they so choose to go for those objectives. I feel like the next timing for TNC is definitely when that Ravage is back up, so in about 50 seconds, that's when they will feel a bit comfier taking these fights. Otherwise, without that, again, they have to wait for Cuckoo to be ready with that Ravage, and that just means they play on the backseat for a bit.
Tier 3 now going down for the side of TNC, it seems. And Ice, what a stun coming out from him. And now the Impale, it will only get one, but it's all havoc in the side of TNC's base. They'll get DJ as well. Can they win this team fight? Arbed being stunned up. Nice swap onto Gabby. AU saving the day once again. Although Gabby, he's out for the moment. They've got an AU. The buyback is there immediately, and now he will TP in and try to help out the team. Jab's just trying to get out of there. Rupture still not available. Excuse me, the Ravage. MP, man fighting Gabby, but he's in trouble as well. He blinks up to the high ground, and now Arbed comes back in. They're losing a lot of HP on Gabby with that Doom, and MP will clean him up. Cuckoo, the only man standing, and it looks like he's not going to be standing much longer. He has buyback available, John, but he's the only one that does.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough defense if he chooses to buy back now. Maybe once Armel respawns, we might see that come out. I'm not sure how much you can really expect them to do here. I think they might really just have to give up these Raxes.
Well, the buyback from Cuckoo going to make them back off, but Fnatic perhaps not realizing that Gabby will not be able to buy back, as well as that Earth Spirit and Venge. They are waiting for the right moment though. MP just doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't have that BKB available for another 10 seconds or so. Just going to ensure he can find that Rax and perhaps rotate up to the top one. TNC got to be super careful to not throw these bodies away. Ravage will be available this time around though. Arbed gets started again, and Ice with the stun straight onto Armel. They're going to try and take him out, and they do. Now Cuckoo again being stun locked. Can they take him? No, they cannot, but they just want those Megas. They'll return to that top Rax. TNC starting to respawn, but they're missing their main DPS. That'll be Megas going to the way of Fnatic. A 21k net worth lead, and Fnatic realizing 100% there's no buybacks. They'll just go for those tier 4s now. DJ finding an impel onto AU. Again, Ice, a double stun coming out, and AU just disappears.
I mean, Ice has been completely on point with these initiations. Just getting that hoof stomp off on 2-3 targets is enough for them to really get that great initiation, even without the Doom. Just having two of them out of the fight immediately, bursting one of them down, forcing 4v5, really hurts TNC's chances there. And now they're gonna have to play against Mega Creeps. You know, I don't think the Lifestealer is the best wave clearing hero. Viper is okay at it, probably not ideal as well. So it's gonna be a bit of a rough time now for TNC to bounce back in. They still have the tools to do so. Like, you know, they're not quite out of it yet, but you know, their backs are definitely up against the wall here.
Fnatic had a 5v3 situation, but they choose to take the safer option. They will go for the Roshan first. That's absolutely fair enough, of course. They're not their qualifier lives, but they definitely want to drag out this series to a game number 3, and there's no need to take unnecessary risks when you've got Mega Creeps up. TNC, we'll see how long they can hold. I mean, you've got to ask for perfect team fights from TNC for them to be able to push this one back.
Yeah, you're going to have to expect a massive initiation from Cuckoo. You're going to have Gabby be at the right spot with, you know, rolling in with Tims. And it's just going to be really hard with the way Fnatic's been playing now. They've spread themselves out nicely. They've staggered their initiation well. They're riding off of Ice to get the hoof stomp rather than just the Doom. So, you know, they have a lot of ways to start these fights for Fnatic. and only one way to really start it off for TNC, which makes it much harder to execute.
They'll go for those shrines. One shrine down. MP's illusions. Slowly ticking down the other one.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
They're just going to wait for that right moment, Fnatic. Dota plus win probability. 99% the way of Fnatic, which is kind of to be expected. They are giving TNC a 1% chance though, which is fair enough. They will go for that final shrine now up in the top lane.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
See jabs, he managed to pick up a Scythe of Vice now as well on that Nature's Prophet to make matters even more difficult for TNC. But at the very least, with that Lifestealer, with Armel on that Viper, and with Cuckoo on that Tidehunter, they can defend these Megas rather easily. It's just a matter of when Fnatic chooses to fight is when it's going to get pretty difficult.
Definitely so. They are pushing back quite okay on the side of TNC. It is going to be a very long time until they can get a push going of themselves. Probably just going to have to wait for Fnatic to engage into them. They have decent counter initiation. It's just going to require a lot of good conditions for that coming out from TNC. Cuckoo has to not get caught out. I think you don't want Armel and Gabby caught out as well, so you're going to have to offer your supports as bait.
Well, they get started. Nice spike Carapace onto Armel, and he's a sitting duck right now, though. AU again swapping and saving his life. The Doom did come out onto Gabby, but he will be able to walk away, surely. He does. Now they get started. This starting on those T4 towers once again. Abed just keeping the side of TNC at bay, threatening that Rolling Thunder. His BKB will wear off, but he'll just start rolling. Now Gabby will come in. This is the final team fight for TNC. If they lose this, they're going to have to play a Game 3 and MP. He'll find one on Tim's. Cuckoo not throwing out the Ravage quite yet. Now there it is. It does hit multiple heroes, but MP does not care with that BKB. Gabby still very healthy throughout all this, but he's got to be careful of those crits. It's a lot of damage, and look at DJ. The triple impale coming out from that Nyx Assassin. They'll take out another. AU's gone as well. There's only 2 left on the board, but they've called GG anyway. What a game coming out from Fnatic.
Definitely so. I feel like DJ and Ice have stepped up your game in this one. Just beautiful initiations from them, beautiful lining up of shots and getting those multiple hero stuns, really securing the kills for Fnatic and giving them the momentum back. So well played to do those two guys. A good attempt from TNC. It looked pretty good for them at first, but just kind of tapered off towards the end. Looking forward to see how they kind of correct that. And, you know, it's a game tree for the first slot into Disneyland. Both of these teams are not going to let up, Mike.
No, absolutely not, and I can't blame them. Nevertheless, we are in the lobby, so we'll be right back with you guys in just a moment. The game number 3 should start very, very soon. Of course, as always, thank you for watching. We'll be back in just a moment.